We're live. I've been trying to figure out the camera. All right, well, welcome to this Sunday morning sermon. I am out on my beautiful patio getting some fresh morning sun. And as I do every morning as part of my daily routine is I read a lesson from A Course in Miracles. And today's lesson is 87, which is a review of two other lessons. I'm in a review phase. So the two lessons that we're reviewing today is I will, there be light. I will, there be light. And the second one is there is no will but God's. So they seem a little like opposed and polar, but if you've been reading A Course in Miracles by 87, you understand that your will and God's are the same and that you can will light because you are God. And then I always like to read the fun little just one-page ditty by Pam Grout, the Course in Miracles Experiment. This can be a little heady sometimes and deep, and so this really lightens it up for me. And I really love the way that Pam Grout plays with. She just is very playful and I really resonate with it. And it can take, I really love the deep stuff. That's like my Virgo rising loves the deep dive and the rabbit holes, and let me just get all the depths of it. And then I'm like, all right, now how can I play with it? Like, now that I got the depths and I got that beautiful foundation, now how can we be all crazy and wild and playful? Another thing that I do, this is just like my morning routine, okay, guys, is Existential Kink. We're reading this in Sacred Intuition Society right now. If you'd like to join us, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, you can join us. And right now we're doing exercises 1 through 5. So we're doing, it's in lesson 4. And the exercises are how to get your shit together, the deepest fear inventory, how to beat yourself up the fun way, how to dwell in the luminous dark, and how to stop being broke. So as I read A Course in Miracles and I sit and meditate on the concepts for the day, and not only just the lesson, but I'm also reading in the Course as well. Like today I was reading in chapter, where'd you go? Here we are. Nope. Where are you? Here we go. Chapter 9, the acceptance of the atonement. Section 1, the acceptance of reality. So a lot of this is deep. Hi, Anil. So I'll take a lot of this information and I will go into AI and I'll be like, all right, AI, here's what I'm doing today. Here's the lesson that I read in A Course in Miracles. Here's the existential kink that I'm working on. And here's like my own personal thing that I'm dwelling on. Right now I've been working a lot on my physical elements. I've been dealing with chronic rashes for over a decade that the doctors, dermatologists, specialists, allergy specialists, like none of them know what's going on with me. They're like, it's a medical mystery. I have a knee that just, this little spot right here in my knee that just like boop, pops out every once in a while, and no physical therapist or chiropractor or even orthopedic surgeon knows what is happening. It really is difficult, the acceptance of reality. Sometimes it really is. And so I love when a lot of the work that I do like really accumulates and comes together. Like I really love Byron Katie's the work. Her book Loving What Is a really good one. And a Judge Your Neighbor worksheet is a really powerful process for learning how to love what is. But as I've been combining specifically Existential Kink and A Course in Miracles in such a really fun and playful way, like this is really serious, this is really playful. So these two combined are just really beautiful. And like playing on the kink that like, how dare I Like, I just really love my suffering, right? Existential kink is really about like embracing the shadow and dramatizing it. And my little inner diva is like, oh, watch out, like spotlight on me. I'm gonna full-fledged just like, wah, let everything out. So this weekend, I had a really interesting epiphany that I would like to share with you, and it is the title of today's sermon, if you will, today's Sunday sermon. I am just riffing off of my inspiration, my epiphanies that I've had, in hopes that maybe it'll align with somebody and maybe help them see things in a different way and make life a little bit easier. The last 2 weeks have been hell. Literal luteal hell. If you're familiar with the female phases, I've been in luteal phase for 12 days. And it's like edging with no release. It's just this build of pressure and energy, and there's no release. And I've just been, and as in my luteal phase, my friend calls it feral witch goblin, just like this angry, mean. And so I've just been ripping out weeds instead of ripping people's heads off, and trying to keep my mouth, ever loving, mean mouth shut, because I know it's not me, it's the hormones, and I just have. There's this big part of me that is ready to be released and to die, but I kind of had to finish figuring it out. So I was raised in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, aka Mormon, and I do not hold any animosity against this religion. I think it is a really beautiful place for people who it aligns with. I think there's a path and purpose for everyone. However, it wasn't for me, and the way that I was taught was that perfection, cleanliness and perfection is godliness. Heaven is perfect. And therefore, in order to be as close to God as I could in this reality or heaven, I needed to be perfect. Now, here's the funny part. The ego interprets perfect as no problems. Right? And everyone around you is acting in accordance to your idea of what perfection is or should be. And when that doesn't happen, when the outside world doesn't match your ego's idea of perfection, you suffer. And then you think everybody else needs to suffer too, because then when we suffer, then we can be humble, and then we are worthy of God's graces to allow us back into heaven again. Okay. So this was my like messed up idea of like how I was supposed to work in the world. As our planet is shifting and our galaxy is actually shifting, our sun is, everything is starting to shift and move. We are heading into a new time and space that we've never been before, literally, physically, not just like metaphorically, spiritually. We're evolving. Mother Earth is evolving, and we are a part of Mother Earth. So we're going to evolve with her. So this idea of suffering is old news. It's old belief, it's old story, it's old paradigm, and it's not serving us anymore. It's keeping us trapped in our smallness. It's keeping us trapped in our suffering. I mean, and just like, do you think God really wants us to suffer? Like, just sit for a moment and be like, and whatever you call God, universe, source, light, love, energy, like they're all synonymous to me. I don't really care. I'm not attached to a being in the sky. I don't really believe that's what God is. God to me is an energy of creation and love. And that's like what A Course in Miracles teaches God is anyway, or as well. And so does God really want us to suffer? Did God really create us to suffer? And is suffering really make us worthy of love and like forgiveness and miracles? No, we just are suffering. And it's like A Course in Miracles compares it to holding a sleeping child while they're in a nightmare, and they're thrashing and they're like, oh, they're whimpering and they're wincing and and you're just like, oh, you sweet thing, you're just having a bad dream. Well, this is God watching us in our suffering. Like, oh, you poor sweet little thing. I know you're okay. You're totally safe. You're in my arms. I've got you. You're totally supported. I know you're safe. But you are believing the nightmare is reality. Only when you choose to realize that the nightmare is not reality, that it's a projection of the ego, it's an illusion, and you wake up to reality, God's got you, you are held, you are so supported and loved, and this being that created you wanted to give you everything, wanted you to have everything. I mean, just think if you have children or pets or plants or anyone that you care about deeply and you just want to give them the world. Imagine a perfect God doing that same thing for us. Of course, he wants, he, she, they, it, whatever, wants to give us everything. But we believe we need to suffer to be worthy of it. Bless our cute little hearts. So there's a couple of things that have just been changing my mind, and I'm literally having an ego death, releasing this old way of being as I'm stepping into this new light. Hello, beautiful sunshine, and these solar flares that are coming, and the Schumann resonance that's been off the chart. We're literally being bombarded with new light, new information, new ways of being, not just us, but the planet. There's even new stars that are being discovered that are just showing up now in our ability to see. We're getting hit with new light that's never been seen before or felt, and it's upgrading our operating system, and we can't operate in the old ways anymore. The old ways of I have to work hard, I have to earn it, I have to prove myself, I have to accomplish, I have to go, I have to do, instead of just being and trusting I am enough and the light provides, God provides, the universe provides, source provides, I am safe, I am whole, I am one with this light, I am created as this light, and as I am created in this light, I am created to create with light. So that's A Course in Miracles energy. Now, I just finished reading a couple months ago on a grandmother of Jesus. Really beautiful channeled book, channeling Jesus's grandmother, Anna, and basically her story of Yeshua and her account. And she just had some beautiful, beautiful views. And one of the things that just really struck me was she's like, Jesus did not suffer. You guys teach that Jesus suffered. He did not. He trained for decades to not suffer. Now, hearing this, of course, I've been taught that like he really suffered in the Garden of Gethsemane. He really suffered when he hung on the cross and with the crown of thorns and his hands nailed to the and feet nailed to the cross. That he must have suffered. But he trained. He went to India, he went to Egypt, he went to all of these different places and learned from all of these different masters and all of these different teachings from around the world, these healing teachings. And of course, you know, connected to God as he is. He trained to be in a state of bliss and alignment. Now, this may sound a little crazy, but like, have you heard of the orgasmic birth movement? Where women literally train to experience the contractions that they're feeling as orgasmic pulsations of energy through their body. Like, oh my God, where was that when I had kids? And then, you know, there's people that like receive pleasure from pain. They actually love it and seek it out, and, you know, like BDSM. You know, that's, you know, a lot of this fun kink stuff. And this whole book is about how existentially, energetically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, we're kinky motherfuckers because we love the pain. We love to suffer. We love the self-flagellation. Let me just beat myself up a little bit more so I can be worthy to be loved. But, you know, last year I went to a 10-day Vipassana silent retreat, Buddhist style. You sit in meditation 10 hours a day. You don't talk to anybody. There's not even eye contact. And you just sit in silence and you are with yourself. And you are trained to allow whatever sensation that is arising in your body to arise, because it's arising so that it can fall. This is called anicca, and stuff rises so it can fall. And as you sit in meditation, you notice, you know, you've got a little itch here, or you need to like, oh, you know, shake out your shoulders, or you want to shift your seat or something, you just notice and you don't move and you just keep breathing. You bring your awareness back to the breath and allow the energy and the emotion to arise so it will fall. Just allow it to arise and fall. So that practice taught me a lot about how pain is really just temporary. And when you really sit with it, sometimes that pain actually becomes orgasmic. Hello, dragon. So there's a couple of pieces in my life. So Anna, grandmother of Jesus, talking about how Jesus did not suffer, that he trained to be in ecstatic bliss and total alignment of love during his sacrifice, because that's what we've called it. But what if we just called it an offering? You know what? He made an offering and he shared himself with us and showed us that he could go through some of the greatest, deepest depths of hell that we could ego perceive as suffering, and he didn't. He did it through love. He did it through acceptance, through joy, through grace. And I don't think that the atonement, if you want to go back and watch my video on a heretic's take on the resurrection and the atonement, those videos are pretty controversial, but they're my hot takes on it. So, and it also talks a little bit about how we don't think we need to suffer, but he did not save us. He's showing us, come on, you got to hang on the cross for your own sins, but you don't have to suffer. You just have to die to those old ways. This new light that's coming in, you have to let those old ways of being die. You have to let them go. You have to hang them on a cross, and then you need to be reborn into this new body, this new way of being, this new light that is I am. I am, and that is enough. I don't have to do, I don't have to create, because I just will naturally as a state of my beingness as God, as a God being. So today I was playing with A Course in Miracles and Existential Kink, and I did the deepest fear inventory, but the super positive. So normally the deepest fear inventory is like, dear God, I absolutely refuse to have this thing in my life that I claim to want so bad, like $10,000 or $1 million or this beautiful partner and love of my life. For me, I'm working on my chronic illnesses because I just like, okay, God, if my body is an illusion of my ego, then how do I let my ego go, right? Well, this is where existential kink comes in. So I want to read some of these deepest fear inventory. And this is the super positive. Let me read some of the negative ones first so you kind of get an idea of the negative. So, dear God, I absolutely refuse to have a totally healed body because I have a deep fear that I won't have anything to focus on or fix anymore. No! I have a deep fear that if I don't have anything to fix, I won't have any purpose anymore. Oh my God, if I'm not trying to fix something, then what is my value? I have a deep fear that if I'm unwilling to feel in a turned on and aligned way that what I do doesn't matter. Ooh, you know, I won't have anything to talk about if I'm not whole and if I'm all whole and healed. Like I won't have anything to commiserate with other people with, right? Because misery loves company. Okay, so that's an example of the deepest fear. So here's the deepest fear turned into super positive, because one of the things that I read today in this chapter 9, like where are you? Chapter 9, that was really, really beautiful and powerful. I have emphasized that many times. The Holy Spirit will never call upon you to sacrifice anything. Wait, what? I thought all we were supposed to do was sacrifice. But if you ask the sacrifice of reality of yourself, the Holy Spirit must remind you that this is not God's will, because it is not yours. Because yours and God's will are the same. And God wants you to be happy. God wants, God, universe, light, whatever you call it. There is no difference between your will and God's. If you did not have a split mind, the ego, and your God mind, you would recognize that willing is salvation because it is communication. Okay, when you ask, no, where was it? I didn't highlight it. That's kind of the problem lately, because I'm not highlighting it, but it's okay. Anyway, so here's the super positive deepest fear inventory. Dear God, I am totally unwilling. I absolutely refuse to have a totally healed body because I deeply fear that my totally healed body will radiate divine joy and I'll step into boundless creativity and joy with nothing left to fix. I have a deep fear that I'll live a life-changing profession with unshakable purpose because my eternal value will be so obvious as God's beloved creation. I have a deep fear that I'll feel infinitely needed and cherished in God's plan as my inherent importance will outshine all of my doubts. I'm like just shutting down all of the ego's fears. I have a deep fear that I'll be seen and celebrated everywhere I go because my radiant light inspires countless others through joy and love. Yikes. I mean, some of these are really scary. I have a deep fear that every loving action I take will profoundly matter as a divine ripple effect on my impact in the world. I have a deep fear that my wholeness will spark joyful connections as I have an abundantly fulfilling personal life. I mean, like, this is all just deep fear to the ego. No, we can't have a fulfilling life. We can't have these abundant divine connections. We can't offer inspiration to other people. It's got to be all dark and scary and bad. I have a deep fear that I'll attract only loving and kind attention that uplifts my soul. I have a deep fear that I'll wield unstoppable divine power with grace and love as I have an extraordinary ability to heal and transform the world. Like, oh my God, the ego is freaking the fuck out. Like, there's no way. I can't. That's too much responsibility. I better stay small. So let me stay in my suffering. Let me stay in my pain, and let me keep trying to fix a problem. Fix a problem that doesn't even exist because it's an ego projection illusion, because God created me perfect. And only, and here's the cool thing, this is where quantum physics comes in. We have been trained and taught that we live in a 3D reality. We have been trained and taught that we live in a Newtonian world, cause and effect, that this is physical matter, this is physical matter, this is physical matter, this is physical matter. But guess what? Physical matter is actually 0.00000000001% matter. That our reality is actually 99.999999999% energy. Let me just repeat that again. Our reality is 99.999999999% energy, and only the matter is flipped, right? 0.00000000001. 1%. I don't know how I'm supposed to be doing that with my hands. Every time I try it, I'm like, I'm going to figure it out, and it doesn't work. But you get what I'm saying. If you took all of the human beings on this planet, all 7 billion human beings right now, and you took all of the space out of them, right? Because we know that we're mostly space, atoms, molecules, right, in our body. If you took all of the space out of our body and took and put all of the matter together from all 7 billion human beings, we would all fit inside a sugar cube. So just think about that for a second. Your body plus all 7 billion other humans on this planet, if we vacuumed out all of the space, you with 7 billion other people would fit inside the size of a sugar cube. So why are we putting so much emphasis and energy and importance on 0.000000001% matter? Why? When 99.9999999% of our reality is energy, thought, emotion, right? But that percentage is more powerful in so-called modern society. As a culture, we have believed that we have put so much importance in importance and um, energy. We've actually put a lot of energy into the importance of the physical realm, of what matters. But here's the cool thing. You will only see what you believe to be true. Like, this has been proven. This is the observer effect in quantum physics. Like, you will only see right now, flying around you is 4 billion bits of information. 4 billion bits of information flying around you in this room right now. Your mind can only grasp 2,000. Your mind can only, like, this human brain can only grasp 2,000 bits of information. That's just all it can process at one time. This brain, it's all it can process at one time. So your brain literally can only see 1/10 of 1/1,000,000th of what is possible. How's that for some math for you? So, like, you're literally looking at life through this little teeny tiny slit. And that's where A Course in Miracles calls a shift in perception a miracle. Because if I'm believing and I'm only seeing this 2,000%, but I decide, like, you know what, maybe there's more to life than that. And now I open up and I see a little bit more. Miracle! It's a miracle! There's so many options. So many, I mean, infinite possibilities. 4 billion. 4 billion possibilities right in this moment, right here, right now. So what you put where attention goes, energy flows, right? Where attention goes, energy flows. Where you focus on grows, right? Where, it's like your eyes are watering hoses, and wherever your water hose goes, you're making that stuff grow. And so what you believe matters turns into matter. Okay? What you believe matters. If it matters to you, it will show up as matter for you, because that's how powerful of a creator you are. Now, are you creating with the ego mind? Or are you creating with your God mind, your higher mind, your love, yourself, your higher self, your spirit, your essence, your soul, whatever you want to call that? Are you creating with your ego and creating more pain and fear and separation and suffering? Or are you creating with your God self, which opens up infinite possibilities for more love, more peace, more joy? Now, back to the whole perfection piece, because my idea is like, oh, if I'm creating with my God self mind, then I'm going to create perfection. And then I get frustrated when it's not perfect, because perfect was identified by the ego. The ego had an idea of what perfect is, which means, the world looks like this, other people act like this, my body looks and acts a certain way. And that was causing me suffering, because that's actually not perfection. Perfection is what is. This is what I love about Byron Katie. She calls God reality. Her definition of God is reality, because reality is good. It's only our definition that we throw on reality that skews it and turns it and twists it, and we manipulate it to because we're kinky motherfuckers, it twists and turns it to make sense of our kinky, weird, messed up perceptions of what we think should be. And so anytime that we think reality is attacking us, or, oh, a hummingbird flew by me, that we believe that, somebody else is attacking us, or even our body. This is where I've been lately, is my body. My body is attacking me because I've got this knee pain, or I've got these rashes that I've been dealing with. Like, that's an attack on God, because God wouldn't attack me like that. There must be a reason. God said that in A Course in Miracles, God says that the body was created as a means of communication. So the body's just communicating to me, and the communication is always, always a call to love. It's always a call to love. So when I'm scratching my rashes, or my knee pops out, and instead of getting frustrated, I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. This is a chance for me to return to love. This is a chance for me to remember I am love, and I was created by love. Love created me in itself. So I am love. This is an expression of love. And can I feel that expression? Can I allow that expression? Can I surrender my own ego ideas and, what's the word, agenda? Can I surrender my ego agenda of what it thinks perfect is, of what God and heaven is, to surrender to really what is? And then I open up to all the possibilities and miracles around me. All right, I think I've been rambling long enough. Oh yeah, it's been like 30 minutes. So thank you for joining me today. And if you would like to join us for book club, where we'll actually read, we'll share our deepest fear inventory, where we'll share our getting our shit together, or how to dwell in the luminous dark, like our experiences, like in Sacred Intuition Society, we're a mastermind of healers, light workers, or people that are just trying to elevate their consciousness to a higher level, and be, actually living the principles and concepts of being an enlightened being. Chop wood, carry water. Enlightenment means to lighten up, like have some fun here. It's a mastermind. We come together and we work our shit out together, and we call each other out, and we laugh, and we play, and we cry, and we scream, and we hold each other through it all. So Existential Kink, Tuesday nights is the book club, and that one's free. You can join that. That's a community thing that we do. But we also offer a whole bunch of other fun stuff in Sacred Intuition Society. If you'd like to check it out, we'd love to have you join us. Thank you for joining my morning sermon. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Anil, it's been really nice to get to chat with you. Yeah, and remember that, what matters to you will become matter. So where are you putting your focus and attention? And yeah, do we really have to suffer? Did Jesus really suffer? I'm starting to lean into and believe that no, he did not. He trained to learn that this body is not who he is, and that he learned how to ascend his body while also being in his body. And the ascension is within. It's not like I'm going to a higher place. It's I'm going within to that God self place within, and that a higher mind, that higher perspective that knows the physical stuff that's going on with the body has nothing to do with you. It's just the beautiful, return to call to love. Remember to return to call to love. Okay, I love you. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.